Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is my Matchday 10 Premier League predictions. That time of week again. I'm really sorry for these delayed videos. I'm trying my best to get them up before the fixtures start. This one is literally cutting the deadline right now. If this is posted after the first match starts at 8, I do apologise. These fixtures predictions are made way before the match and before even the teams have come out as well, so that can't change my opinion. But yeah, last week, 24 points out of a possible 40, which is my best week yet. And it's going to be incredibly difficult to top that. There are a lot of more one-sided matches this week, but it's difficult to predict those ones because you don't know how many goals teams are going to score. But let's see what this week can bring. And let's start with the 8 PM kickoff tonight. Crystal Palace versus Spurs. Right, yeah, as I just said, by this time it's released, it may have already happened or it may be happening as it's released. I don't know anything about the teams right now. I've heard that Udogie might not be able to play. I don't know. But I think it's hard basically for me to not back a Spurs win. They're still yet to lose. I think whoever does beat this Spurs powerhouse is going to have to produce something special. They're playing out of this world. They're playing at the highest level right now. I think City away, Liverpool away. Those are going to be the hard ones. I would say Arsenal away, but they got a point there. So all their players I think are fit. Maybe not Udogie, but yeah, I'm going to go for a narrow 2-1 Spurs win. Crystal Palace do make these London derbies somewhat difficult. They did in the Arsenal one at the beginning of the year. It was only 1-0, it was close. But ultimately, I don't think they have enough to stop Spurs. And yeah, 2-1 Spurs. Then we go into the 12:30 kickoff on the Saturday, Chelsea versus Brentford. This is a must win for Chelsea. This is the easiest game they've got this month, by the way, so they cannot afford to drop more silly points against weaker opposition. And that's not me being disrespectful to Brighton. Brighton? What am I on about? That's not me being disrespectful to Brentford. But this kind of, it's just like Chelsea are the better team. They've got the better players. They should be winning the match. But this match does kind of give me similar feelings to the Forest game where I was so confident that Chelsea were going to win. I think I said like 3-0 or 2-0 or something like that. And then Forest produced a spectacular performance and won 1-0 at the Stamford Bridge. But Chelsea, I think, compared to then, they've got a lot better. They're scoring more goals now, which was their big problem. Mudryk is looking good. He's scoring some goals. He was scoring on the international stage as well. So I'm going to go for a narrow 1-0 Chelsea win. They defend well, Chelsea. They don't score too many goals. And Brentford struggled to score. I know that differed from their performance against Burnley last week, but that's Burnley. That's probably more likely a one-off. Chelsea have got a much better defence, and they're solid defensively. They've got Thiago Silva at the back. That's all you really need. Yeah, so 1-0 Chelsea. Then we move on to Bournemouth versus Burnley. Now this is such an important match at the bottom of the Premier League table. Both these teams have been rather shambolic so far. Burnley have probably been a little bit better. At least they've picked up a win. But neither of them have shown anything special. I think both these teams have disappointed really, because I think a lot of people at the beginning of the season, and especially in people's Premier League predictions, they were predicting these teams to come mid-table. I'm assuming that was before Gary O'Neill was sacked, but everyone was predicting Burnley to come mid-table because they thought Vincent Kompany plays some good football. The problem with Burnley right now is just they can't score goals. I think they do play good football, and I think they need to back Vincent Kompany. They need a striker in January and a clinical goal scorer, and I reckon they'll start picking up more points. Whereas Bournemouth, I just think they look shambolic everywhere. Nothing seems to be going right for them. What they were meant to be last season, I think is happening to them this year. Second season syndrome. It happens to a lot of teams. But I think this match has got a draw written all over it, so I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw. Then into Arsenal versus Sheffield United. There's only one winner here. It's more of a matter of how many Arsenal will score. I mean, Newcastle scored 8 at Bramall Lane, so you just never know. It could be like, I'm going to go for 4-0 Arsenal, but this could be way more. But you never know. This could be like one of those narrow Arsenal wins. I just know for a fact that nevertheless Arsenal are going to win. I think Saka and Martinelli will grab the goals. I don't know whether Jesus is fit, but if Jesus is fit, I reckon he will. And then maybe Havertz will pick up a goal. I'd like to see Havertz pick up a goal. But yeah, I just don't really have too much to say on this match. I think it's very obvious who's going to win. Not much to analyse, so I'm going to go for a 4-0 Arsenal win. Then we go into Saturday night football, Wolves versus Newcastle. Very interesting game. Newcastle obviously off the back of that disappointing defeat to Dortmund in the UCL. I thought they played really well. I thought it was a great game to watch as a neutral. It's a shame they couldn't get any more out of it. They hit the bar like so many times this way. It was so close. And James's Park in the Champions League just it gives me goosebumps, even though I'm not a Newcastle fan. It's great to see. And I'm actually very impressed also with Wolves so far this season. I think they've achieved a lot more than what people predicted at the beginning of the year. I think they're playing good football. They're looking better. They're scoring more goals than people expected. But Newcastle are the better team. I can't see them dropping points here, especially after that loss midweek. It's going to be an exciting game full of action. I reckon it'll be 1-1 till late, and I reckon Newcastle will then kill the game off. So I'm going to go for a 3-1 Newcastle win. Then into the first Sunday game. We've got a lot of Sunday games because obviously there was European competitions last week. I'm going for, so we've got West Ham versus Everton. Obviously West Ham did just lose in the Europa League, which is going to be pretty frustrating. Spirits may be a little bit low right now, but they've not got a better chance of getting back to winning ways against this Everton, Sean Dyche Everton. Although I know Everton aren't doing too bad themselves, that's not me disrespecting them. They're actually doing pretty well compared to how people predicted. I just think West Ham are stronger, and I also think this looming 12-point deduction is not going to help Everton right now. That might play a part in their heads. I think that's also a bit of a joke as well, by the way, 12-point deduction for one financial fair play case or whatever it is. But I mean, this might come back to bite me with my prediction here. I'm going to go 2-0 West Ham. Might come back to bite me because whenever I predict Everton to lose, they normally surprise me. But that didn't happen against Liverpool. So I think that curse might have been overcome now. But yeah, obviously Moyes is back at his old club as well. But that's happened several times by now, so it's not really a big deal. 2-0 West Ham. Then we go into Aston Villa versus Luton. Aston Villa at home again, superb at home, 12 unbeaten at home. Everything's going well for them at home, scoring loads of goals, beating Brighton 5-1. They beat West Ham 4-1 last week. At home, they are a very good team. They're maybe even like one of the best teams in the world at home. Villa Park is a fortress right now, and they did just win 4-1 as well in Europe midweek, which is like just going to bring their overconfidence, their confidence even higher. This can only go one way. I think Luton will score. I reckon it'll be a penalty or a jammy penalty. I know they're extremely unpredictable, but like stats don't lie at the end of the day. I can't predict Luton to get anything out of this game. Villa are just too good at home. So Villa are just so clear of Luton, especially when they're at home. So I'm going to go for a 4-1 Aston Villa win. I think they're the better team, and as simple as that. I think they'll score 4 goals. I think similar to the game against West Ham last week. Then into Brighton versus Fulham. Brighton just got an amazing European win as well. It was against a pretty poor Ajax side right now. It's actually a shame how badly they're doing right now, because Ajax obviously one of the European heavyweights for so many years, but I think they're like 17th in their Eredivisie right now. It's a shame to see. But in terms of Brighton, confidence is going to be through the roof right now after that win. 2-0 win, it was just assured. They looked confident in the way they won. It was simple, really. I think the training camp, I think everything's just going to be positive, but they can't let it get to them. They've got to focus on the task ahead. Simple as that. But I'm sure they can overcome this weak Fulham side. Fulham just don't look too good recently. They seem to be losing a lot of games. They can't find the back of the net. Mitrovic is gone, so they're struggling to score goals. He was obviously their big goal scorer. But yeah, if you're a Brighton fan right now, you're loving life. Not so happy if you're a Fulham fan, but I'm going to go for a 3-1 Brighton win. And then Liverpool versus Forest. Again, Liverpool, much better team. This is what I mean when there's a lot of clear winners this week. There's a lot of teams that are just superior compared to the other ones. Especially, it's the home teams as well, which makes it a little bit more difficult to because home teams normally do better, so we don't know how many goals they're going to score. But Liverpool running riot of late. They're picking up great wins in the Europa League. Did you see that Darwin Núñez miss as well? I know it was he ended up getting the assist, but I'm sure, I love Darwin Núñez. I think he's a great player. But yeah, Liverpool are going to dominate here. They're going to grab all 3 points, and they're going to go for a 3-1 Liverpool win. And then it's the final match of the weekend, the big one, the Manchester Derby. This is going to be a good one. I'm very excited to watch it. I'm sure you guys all think we're going to get absolutely battered, and it probably is fair enough. But we did beat them last year, 2-1. City haven't been in the greatest of form. They did lose 3 in a row before the 2 wins that they've just got, and that wasn't a very convincing win against Brighton. Young Boys was a convincing win, but it's Young Boys at the end of the day. Man United have won 3 in a row, which is interesting. We beat Copenhagen 1-0, we beat Brentford 2-1, and we beat Sheffield United 2-1. Not great teams, but it's the way we've won them as well, which is going to give a lot more confidence in the training camp right now, because our confidence was very low. I'm sure it will be very high after that dramatic win against Copenhagen as well. I'm sure Onana's confidence is through the roof right now after that last-minute penalty save. It is only Copenhagen, of course, but I'm sure winning that is going to give us the belief that we are capable of beating Manchester City. So, you're all going to laugh at me. I'm going to go for a 2-1 United win. I have a feeling everyone thinks we're going to get battered. We're going to show them something. We're going to kickstart our season. Rashford's going to score the winner, and this is going to give him his confidence back. I'm calling it 2-1 United. I will be there no matter what. And that wraps up this game week. Thank you for watching, guys, and make sure you tune in to the next one.